That was the one that you said that you were. like kind of a chef with Joy, you know, a little bit more.
I love the easy fixes.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I do that. I do that.
At least half of it.
I had a whole video.
No way.
We're like, I like to.
Other intimidating actions directed at student athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Thank you for your assistance in providing a positive atmosphere.
Welcome back to Inspiration Field. I'm Caden Sexton, alongside me, Alex Bardenitis, as we are getting set for game number 2. Game 1, Alex, for those of you who weren't with us, was a 7-2 victory for Illinois Wesleyan. Now they switch to the visitor and have to battle the other way. Before we get really into this thing, I will clarify that number 9 in Carly Creeth, the sophomore from Chicago, she just got pulled. There was nothing changed that we have been alerted of. However, she is also not in this contest. She's out there in right field now. You can see her number 9, center of your screen, playing some catch, but she is not in the starting lineup for her squad. Who is going to be starting in the circle, however, is Juliana Maud for North Central College Cardinals. The sophomore from Huntley, Illinois, was a first-team All-CCIW her freshman campaign, as well as first-year Student of the Year in the CCIW. She's got a 2.14 ERA and a 34K mark in a conference play, but in her season as a whole, 29 appearances, 1 save, 4 complete games, and 87 strikeouts. Haley Milgazzo swings through that one for strike 1. As I said briefly already, we switch between who's home and away. So even though we are at the Titan facilities, it is Haley Milgazzo who went 2 for 4 with 1 RBI on that double in the first game, who has to start things off, and she swings through strike 2. Alex, for those people that were not here for the first game, first off, how dare you? But second off, kind of talk to them about what they missed in that first contest.
Well, if you weren't here for the first game, it's okay, unlike what Caden said. But first game, Illinois Wesleyan Titans came away with a 5-run lead, winning 7-2. Even when they were down, which they never really were, they started with a 3-0 run lead. They just kept their momentum, and they started that energy really soon and were just able to run with it and put pressure on the Cardinals. Cardinals made some really good plays in the outfield, were able to slow the Titans down a little bit. They came back with a 1-run gap, 2-3, but then the Titans were able to pull away and get that 5-run lead, winning 7-2.
Haley Milgazzo with a perfect hit that went right over the defender at third base and dropped in the grass for a single. Now it's Anna Beckman to the dish for the Titans. She went 1 for 3 in that first contest, but scored 3 of the 7 runs. Now, but granted, if her 3 runs didn't score, the Titans still win 4-2 in that contest. Doesn't change the fact that she was an instrumental part on getting on base and getting around the path. Beckman shows bunt, does bunt. It's on the ground and it rolls foul. So we called a strike here, and Beckman has to get back into the box, and our lead runner in Milgazzo has to get back over to first. 1-1 count for Beckman. Beckman on the season has been hitting a .330 mark. It's a grounder to Vlack at short, and she gets it across the diamond. So, out number 1 for the Titans brings Haley Milgazzo to second, and Jen Kuhn up with the runner in the scoring spot. Kuhn has been the Titans' deadly out. She's 1 for 4 in that first game with an RBI. An off day for her, considering she is a .476 hitter so far on the season. Kuhn's first pitch, she swings hard, but it's caught in foul territory. A beautiful diving grab in right field by Miller, but I mean, an acrobatic play in foul grounds diffuses Jen Kuhn in a clean fashion. Take another look at it. I mean, you cannot complain too much when that ball, if you're North Central, with how hard that was hit and not having to deal with a possibility of it being fair, let alone making a diving grab to get the out. Now it's Ava Corey's turn. Didn't get a chance to mention in that first game that she was the CCI co-hitter of the year in 2023, along with first-team honors. The senior came into the game batting .370, the third best on the squad, as well as leading with 13 doubles. In that first game, she grabbed double number 14 in her 1-for-3, 1 RBI game. 1-for-1 for the Gold Glove first baseman who resides in Columbia, Illinois. 2 outs after that acrobatic stop by Miller in right field. And the wild pitch, it wasn't really that wild of a pitch, and Melgazo decides, I'm going to take advantage of that one, got a quick jump, and gets to third base. So immediately after standing up is going to give some applause and words of encouragement to her teammate in the batter's box, and they showed a replay on the video board, and now they're going to use said replay from the video board from Venus Taylor to argue the play. We don't see every replay go up on the board, and after that one was shown, Venus Taylor is going to argue that Melgazo left early. Alex, what do you make of this?
I'm not quite too sure what to make of it. I mean, certainly based on the loss in the first game, you'd want to argue things early and try to get as many chances as you can to get an advantage for your team. But, I mean, I don't really know if the umpires saw anything or if they're going to even switch the call.
Well, and part of it is that there is no replay review.
Right.
And so you can't be justifying what you saw on the video board to overturn what happened on the field.
Yeah, especially because whatever the umpire's call is what the call is. There's very few things that can be challenged or protested that will actually overturn said call. Looks like she's really arguing, though.
Yeah, Melgazo signaled the chomping shark, and we've got the music now to back it up here in the booth. I'm not sure if she called that or who initiated that, the booth or Melgazo, but one way or another, we've got some tunes now. And so I think the conversation is over. Venus Taylor, who entered today 103 and 85 as her career record in her 5th season, she's going to exit the field with Melgazo still standing at third base, so not able to get an overturn there, so as Ava Corey gets back in the box. So not too surprised, Alex.
I'm not either.
So it's a 2-1 for Ava Corey. And she's going to take ball 3. I mean, that has to change. Again, you got to fly out in a great defensive play, but having the stolen base then to go along with it, a lawn coach's argument, I can only presume that doesn't give much, or that doesn't do good to the momentum of your squad, Alex.
It really doesn't. I mean, even if you're arguing for your own team, it still stops the game. It still allows people to get cold. I mean, you can't really get cold with such nice weather that we're having out here, but, I mean, just stunting a little bit of the energy.
Full count pitch on Corey. She's going to foul it back, and it was caught, but it went off the net first, so ball dead. Runner for leadoff hitter in Melgazo has gotten herself all the way to third base. Titans have 2 outs, and so Ava Corey's got to make something happen in the positive side on this full count pitch. Fouling it back. She stayed alive. I mean, that is a positive, don't get me wrong, but when I say positive for the Titans side, I mean
putting it in the outfield.
Putting it in
play.
Yeah, or even just getting the walk. I mean,
right.
Getting on base safely is the ideal goal when you got 2 outs. Would love to just crack open this one, though, with a run. And an RBI from a power bat like Corey can do it. This one instead goes into the glove of Miller in right field for out number 3. As we turn to the defensive side for the host Titans, the visitors in this game, we go to Mallory Holland, the sophomore from Shelbyville, Illinois, has a 4-1 record in her 6 games started, 14 appearances, a 1.74 ERA. That ERA, I must add, the best on the Titans. She's got 2 complete games, 1 shutout, 3 saves, 44 innings pitched, and 16 strikeouts. Again, you can't go start 2 games in a row. That's just not possible. But what does Holland need to do to start things off here in the first?
I mean, Holland in past games, at least that I've seen on Inspiration Field here, has done a great job of being consistent in her pitching, but also quick adjustments. She's one of those pitchers that if a runner ends up getting a walk, then she quickly adjusts her pitches for the next runner at home plate. So her IQ in softball and in pitching is very high, and I think that helps the team also with the energy. She's also a really energetic player. Like, she gets hyped for when she's doing good, when her teammates are doing good. So just a really good player all around to have in the circle there.
So to start things off, it'll be Rachel Matson. Matson led things off as well and went 0 for 3 in that first game. She's moved from center field to catcher. And again, going through this briefly and not extensively, what I believe is that the lineup, fielding-wise, is the same we left it at the conclusion of game number 1, for those of you, again, who weren't with us. A lot of defensive changes. I'm pretty sure that only 2 positions, the DP and and one of our outfielders, were the only 2 to stay the same in that contest all the way throughout. So it's a 1-1 for Matson. You know, we've seen a lot of fun things. We've seen roller skating, we've seen lacrosse ball, we've seen the woman who donated all the money to make this field possible. What's in store for game number 2, Alex?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen a lot of Titan athletics come out. I know some of our swimmers were here. Some of my teammates, women's volleyball, still currently in the stands. Women's basketball made an appearance, as well as some of women's golf, men's golf, and track and field as well. So certainly nice day outside. Great day for some softball. So getting the Titan community out here. I don't know, men's lacrosse is still practicing. We could see more lacrosse balls. So
Holland picks up Vleck's pitch or hit and gets it over to first for out number 2. First ground out by Kuhn, second ground out by Holland herself. And so now it's the cleanup spot in Talia Torreson, the graduate infielder from Schaumburg, as Torreson went 1 for 3 in that first game. Going back to Vleck, she went 2 for 3, so went good or strong out to be able to make quickly here in this contest. As that's a foul ball on Torreson's first pitch. Again, for those of you who weren't with us in that first game, it was a 7-2 victory, but the hits were 12-5 in favor of the Titans. And I mean, both teams doubling their hits versus runs. That doesn't bode, that bodes that the offense for the Cardinals wasn't that rough. It was just the fact that they weren't able to stop Illinois Wesleyan. So that's something you have to really consider, is how do you stop the Titans here in the second game. Another thing we didn't talk about in that first game is that both teams, Alex, are wearing their black uniforms. And so one team's got black on black with the Titans having white pants, but that doesn't change the fact that both teams are wearing black on a sunny afternoon day.
yeah.
And also just the fact that they're, again, black and green versus black and red, but still, black versus black jerseys is also just a fun uniform mixture. Don't know if Cardinals couldn't get their uniforms, roads washed or something. Again, we saw that they had a doubleheader that went 3 extra innings in Game 2 yesterday, and so could be the quick change, but also who knows for certain. Maybe a miscommunication or they both just felt like wearing each other's black uniforms to see which of the crowd votes for as the best. Full count pitch, and she swings it onto her inner thigh. That one's going to sting. Again, a volleyball, you hit, it's hard to hit a volleyball on yourself. So can you imagine hitting a softball at yourself, at your own ankle?
I don't want to. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, again, I didn't play baseball long enough that I'm going to hit a ball off myself and feel it that bad, but just getting hit by a pitch, even at my young age, was never fun. Grace Wilkins made a diving effort, but that ball was just a little too far stretched, and so a single for Torreson keeps the inning alive for the Cardinals. Now to the plate, it's the designated player in Haley Moore-Soviel. The junior from Mokina, Illinois, enters 366 batting average, 11 walks, both the best on her squad. She went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, hitting both runs in that first game of today's split. She takes the first strike. She went 2 for 4 with an RBI single in the third to take the lead in game 1 yesterday against Carroll. As here's a easy one over to second and out, number 3 on that 6-4 play. So we go to the top of the second, tied at 0. You're watching IWSports.com.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Welcome back to Bloomington, Illinois at Carroll Willis Park and Inspiration Field. I'm Caden Sexton. To my right is Alex Bardnitis, and to my left is Carol Willis herself, who was just looking up into the booth to see what was going on. It's just the two of us in here enjoying some softball. But again, for those of you who weren't with us first game, Alex, would you like to re-educate what makes Carol Willis so special?
Yeah, Carol Willis is a huge donor to women's athletics here at Illinois Wesleyan. We've named the field after her at Carol Willis Park. She's just we're really grateful here for her donations, especially because it contributed to how nice the softball field is, as long as some other facilities here at Illinois Wesleyan. So we're eternally grateful to Carol Willis for all of her generous donations.
Most certainly, and Claire Post now up to the plate. She takes strike 2. She is 2 for 3 on the day, and yeah, as you said, nobody a bigger advocate than her, and so always wonderful to see her out in the park. My first time seeing her in general, so fun all around as Post thought about it, instead eats back and takes ball 1. Melgazo and Torreson both having a single, but no other offense as we enter the top of the second. Claire Post, the home run machine who's been cranking them out here when she plays at Carol Willis's field, would love to start things off with a bang. Now down 1-2 in the count. She takes second ball, very far and away pitch. Looks like we got some track and field runners now as well in Tucci Stadium. They've got to make sure their heads are on a swivel. We've seen several foul balls land in that said warning track area, and so don't really want to have to be calling an ambulance for a track runner who just was going too fast and at the wrong spot at the wrong time.
I mean, I think they got to be careful for both lacrosse and softball. I mean, outdoor track is right around Tucci Stadium's field. So they got to watch out for both of these sports.
Claire Post is able to work the walk, and quickly Tiffany Prager is going to come out and make an adjustment. I can only assume this is going to be a pinch runner to Post, as we've seen it in the first game, and we've seen it multiple other times, and it is. This time it will be Parker Cash. Yeah.
Pinch running at first base, number 12, Parker Cash.
And you heard it from three voices now. Parker Cash, sophomore from Galesburg, Illinois. This is her 10th appearance. She's got 5 runs in her previous 9 appearances, a career 3 stolen bases for Cash. So here comes Pinter. So quickly you want to get the speed on first base. Again, no offense to your catcher, but typically they're not fast. Pinter's going to put the bunt down, doesn't try and run it out. Instead, claps her way to first base as Cash is able to easily take second. So off the bunt, you bring up Ella Hermes, who... she's an interesting story, as she's been a pitcher primarily throughout the season, but she's been playing second now back-to-back days today. A freshman from Peru's got a 440 batting average. In that first game, she went 1 for 3, so pretty close to that 440 batting average was probably kept. Quickly now, a 2-0 count on Hermes. Somebody who wants to make their mark and stay in the lineup. We've seen Annika Brown, we've seen Riley McDaniel. Now we've seen Ella Hermes get starting time at second. Parker Cash, the pinch runner, on that wild pitch is going to take third base. So with a 3-0 count to Hermes, runner just 1 bag away from taking getting the first run of this game. And the rest of this lineup's been pretty much nailed to the wall for Coach Tiffany Prager. And that pitch, you gasped at it, nearly gets Hermes. She doesn't need to wear it on the skin. She can instead just dodge it for the ball. And quickly, Venus Taylor pops out of dugout to have a talk with her pitcher, Juliana Maud. What do you think this conversation is going to be about, Alex?
Maybe just, I would assume probably a little bit of a pep talk, just kind of some things to make adjustments on, things that the Titans have been doing that the Cardinals need to watch out for, make adjustments on so that they can get some runs or prevent the Titans in this case, since the Titans are on offense, prevent them from making runs.
No, most definitely. When you got runners on the corners and 1 out, you have to be talking about, do you want to go to try and turn a double play, or are you going to try and take Parker Cash, that pinch runner, the speed and the legs, out trying to go home and avoid the run and the deficit?
Batting number 11, Casey Wismiller.
So it's Casey Wismiller, who, again, another bat who's strong and kind of hidden in the bottom of the lineup for the Titans. So far on the season, Wismiller, a .292 bat, first and second team all-conference in her sophomore and freshman campaigns, a junior from Bloomington. Takes ball 1. Wismiller in that first game, a lot of hard-hit balls, but only ended up going 1 for 2 with a walk. Called strike to even things up, Alex. Wismiller swings through that one. She just needs to focus on the task at hand. And if you are Juliana Mauded, the sophomore from Huntley, your goal right now is simple. It's get the runner.
Good decision on Parker Cash's part for giving her another chance to make a run here.
2-0 for Grace Wilkins, the freshman from Bartlett, Illinois, is a .358 average this season. and a lot of legs. She's got 6 stolen bases, the 3rd most on the squad. She takes strike 2. Strike 1, excuse me. With runners on 2nd and 3rd, you don't have to worry as much about the force, but it doesn't change the fact that you need to poke one through a gap. Easy play at 3rd, and the throw is not in time, and so the runner is safe at 1st. It was an awkward, you had to fall, she fell to her knees to be able to make sure she got control of it, and it scores Parker Cash. So the first run of the game for the Titans brings the 1-0 lead as Haley Milgazzo, the leadoff, comes back to the plate. Ump calls time, points to Milgazzo, so she wants to recenter herself before that first pitch comes. Milgazzo, somebody with a lot of energy, somebody who likes to motivate, maybe just needs to take a deep breath, calm herself back down, and get her energy back in her own feels. Quick out for the Cardinals to end this frame. Well, Titans able to strike and come with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back here in the bottom of the 2nd for the Cardinals at bats. You're watching the iwsports.com.
What is proven science? At Just Thrive, it's about best-in-class clinical research. It's about supplements that empower users to control their health. These are the elements that make up the foundation of Just Thrive. Our proven, clinically backed, proprietary probiotic removes the guesswork from supplement selection because we've done the work for you to ensure that you're getting the best product possible, empowering you to take back control of your health from a leader in the digestive, immune, and emotional health spaces.
They fake it a lot better than I do.
Bottom of the 2nd, and to the dish, it's Emma Herder. Her 8 RBIs are tied for the most on the squad in conference play. 10 on the season, 318 batting average for the junior from Frankfurt. Herder came in as a pinch fielder that last game, excuse me, not frame. Went to 0 for 1 in that contest. This one fouled back, leaving the count at 1 apiece. If you're the Cardinals, 1 run you are trailing by is not the end of the world. Let's face it, trailing by 1 is a lot better than trailing by 5, for example. And so all you got to do is just, you got 2 runs in the last game. Just lock down the defense, have a nice conversation with your pitcher, and come back out and be ready to battle and be ready to attack in the third inning defensively. But now you got to start the bats early.
Yeah, I mean, being in the bottom of the 2nd right now, you don't need to. It's not so much of a high pressure situation that it's like a do or die. You have to get on base, but again, like you said, only being 1 run behind, it's not, again, too much pressure, so they have a lot more room for their confidence and their energy.
So a foul tip, but it goes into the glove of Claire Post for strikeout number 1 for Holland, and out number 1 in the bottom of the 2nd for the Titans. And now to the dish, it's Ronnie Latka. Latka, the Sugar Grove, Illinois native, was the 2024 CCIW Respect Award winner. Her .432 batting average puts her into this spot with ball 1. She came in as a pinch fielder in game number 1, and she only had 1 at-bat, and it was a ground out to first base. She fouls that one off for strike 1. One and 1 for Latka at .636 batting average in conference games, and again, it's a number that hard to say, all right, she's hitting .636 because that's only in conference games and don't know how many at-bats she gets over compared to the rest of her teammates in said games. But something to keep in mind that she's been able to capitalize when it matters most conference game. Well, when it matters second most conference time. Third most is most is playoffs. Oof. Inside pitch there made her twist and turn. She didn't shout, but she did get ball 2 to her name. Those Beatles fans will get the joke I made there. 2-2 for Latka. Swinging strikeout number 2 for Holland and out number 2 on back-to-back Ks. Now to the dish, it's Bomar. The first baseman went 0 for 2 in that first game. Another look at that swing and a miss. I mean, right down the middle. Just a beautiful execution from Holland. And Lauren Bomar, the junior now from Union Mills, Indiana. She pitched her freshman season, hasn't been in the circle since. 257 average entering this one with the third most doubles, third most walks with 9 of them, and 7 RBIs, just to give a few of her stat line. She swings, gets called strike number 1, and swings for strike 2. Holland feeling herself right now, and that's exactly what the Cardinals were not hoping for coming back out in the second inning. Swinging through that one to strike out the side. Mallory Holland with, again, not a strikeout pitcher, but able to fan 3 in a row there to end the second inning. You're watching IWSports.com.
NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Softball Championship coming to Bloomington, Illinois this May. Get your tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Welcome back to Bloomington, Illinois at Inspiration Field. It's Anna Beckman's second time up. She is grounded out 2 short in the first. It has been a different feel from that first game, and that's kind of now it's time to, if you're the Titans, to get back to that first game's hitting ways at the very least. Mallory Holland definitely carried on Gianna Serta's dominant pitching style from game 1 of this doubleheader, and now strike 1 from Maud to Anna Beckman. That one in the dirt to even things up. An interesting element about this facility, Alex, is not many do you see a turf infield and a grass outfield, and part of that allows for metal cleats in the infield, something that you can see Anna Beckman supporting, as this one's going to go foul. A play was attempted by Miller, but not able to get there in time. But again, you play volleyball, as viewers may or may not know. You don't have to worry about grass versus turf or any of that. You got gym floors, but I mean, talk to me about what different playing surfaces kind of does to you as a volleyball athlete.
Yeah, we have, I mean, at least in our program, we're fortunate enough to have like a sport court that we can put down, so a bunch of tile, which can in some cases be a lot more slippery than the arena floor. Also kind of depends on, you know, sweat and everything, but I feel like the sport court's easier to play off of. It also is better on you physically, especially because volleyball players, at least in the front row, we take a lot of jumps, so it's easier on your joints and the impact that has versus playing on regular arena floor. But I mean, this past season, our shoes have been kind of sticky. We came up with a lot of clips that we got from practice of us tripping and falling with said shoes. So whether that's the shoe's fault or the floor, or just our fault, user error, you know.
User error. Anna Beckman was able to correct the landing zone, but still finding Miller's range as she caught that one for out number 1. Now it's Jen Kuhn's turn. The one who can do it all. She's been close to a 500 average all season, but today in this doubleheader, not having the success she was looking for.
There's
and
a
that
hit by a pitch.
Yeah, that time they clipped her in the foot. I don't think it hurt her that much with those cleats and jumping out of the way, but thankfully for her, not too damaged as she trots over to first base. So now it's Ava Corey. She flew out to Miller in right field her first time up. Again, this team just, they have the bats 1 through 9. It's just when do they come alive? And we saw a little flare there in the second inning, but it was more just smart base running in the second inning. Smart bunting and everything else to go along with it. Ava Corey's finally getting some chance for her. That's the loudest I think we've heard this dugout get. As swings through that one for strike 1, or strike 2. And Jen Kuhn takes second pretty decisively. So Kuhn now in scoring position with 2 strikes on Corey. 1 out. An 0-2 for Corey, and on the line, caught at second. That's Herder for out number 2 in this frame. So now it's Claire Post. She worked a full count walk the first time she was up, and she now would like, with 2 outs, to drive home her teammate in Jen Kuhn. Something that she's done quite a lot of in her time is driving home runs, as Claire Post has team lead 6 homers and a team third high 21 RBIs. She foul tips that one. Would never like to make an assumption on family members, but the roller skating girl that we talked about in that first game gave Claire Post a hug after that one. We're guessing sister, but
it is Claire Post's sister.
Yeah.
And rollerblades, I did find out earlier that she is a hockey player. So
that makes more sense, yeah. She got up from her seat and skated to the end of the dugout to get a different view, to get a non-netting view of her sister's at bat. There she is on your screen. So it's 1-1 on Post. And quickly ball 2 on the junior catcher. Family not too far for Post, just in Normal, Illinois, you know, just one town over. Post we've had up in the booth once earlier on this season. Dynamic leader, as I know you've talked about throughout your time with me in this broadcasting booth, but somebody who's able to be a very strong offensive and defensive player for this team. Can her bat come alive here to extend the Titan lead with 2 outs, a runner on second, and a 2-2 count? A lot of 2s there. Here's that pitch with all the 2s, and we'll keep all the 2s exactly where they are because it's a foul ball. Words of encouragement from the fans here in the bleachers. She's battling in this at bat. Again, worked a full count walk the first time she was up, and then Parker Cash able to run the bases and score the first run of the game. Ball hit hard into center field. It's going back, and over the wall is Claire Post's 7th homer on the season. 2 RBIs and a 3-0 game for the Titans. Take another look at this swing. It was perfectly where she wanted it, and
beautiful
she just
contact on the bat too.
Yeah, and she just drove it dead center over the monster wall here that we have at Carroll Willis Park. We haven't really talked about it today, but a wall that, you know, it's hard to clear, but if you do, it's because of how great of a hit it was. So now after all the excitement, the designated player with 2 outs and 2 runs added to the lead, and Bella Pinter comes on. Umpire checks down at first, and it is called a check swing, so ball 1 to Pinter. And so Pinter, she bunted it her first time up and and resulted in an out, but it pushed the run pushed the run over that ended up scoring. Pinter, the freshman, has been having a very strong campaign and really just in the bottom of the lineup as concealment plus because of how strong the rest of the staff is. Pinter, a .345 average on the season, 3 homers, 21 RBIs, both tied for third on the team, and 12 walks. As a kind of a weaker swing by Pinter, she immediately knew that's not what she needs to be doing out there with her head motion afterwards. But either way, it evens the count at 2 apiece. And then to finish the Bella Pinter stat line, 12 walks, the second most on her squad. That ball is away and outside for number 3, so a full count now for Bella Pinter off the home run. You can tell that Alex, that Juliana Maud is a little bit rattled here after the home run.
I mean, I would be too, especially coming from Claire Post, who has hit so many home runs before, and this early in the game with the Titans again taking a 3-0 lead.
And that one was in the glove of second baseman Herder. However, it then popped out on contact and went into foul play, but nonetheless, contact ensued with both feet in fair ground. And so, Bella Pinter, who we thought was going to pop out, now stands safely at second base. So runners on first and second for Ella Hermes. She walked on 4 straight pitches her first time up. So a pattern that Maud has is not being able to find herself in jams and instead not be able to work out of jams, needing her defense to be able to help give her some assistance as she continues finally finds the zone and gets a strike. I say that because last inning, when the run scored, she had another walk. Here, home run, then a full count single. She needs her defense to pick her up as she gets the swinging second strike there. She's 1 away from a K, which would be her second of the contest. Runner on second, 2 outs. 1-2 pitch to Ella Hermes is outside and away for ball 2. Hermes would like to is going to try and time this one up. The 2-2 pitch for the second baseman with 2 outs, runner on second, swinging through it for strike number 3, second K for Maud as we enter the bottom of the third, trailing with the Cardinals trailing by 3 and hoping to make something up here in the bottom of the frame. You're watching IWSports.com.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Welcome back to OSF Health. Welcome back. We had the OSF ad, and Bradley softball plays at OSF. Welcome to Inspiration Field here at Carrawillos Park. I'm Caden Sexton, alongside me, Alex Bardenitis. Titans would like to continue that Mallory Holland dominance we saw in the bottom of the second, where she struck out 3 straight batters here in the third inning of work. It's Miller who takes a deep breath before entering the box. Her first time of the day, and she gets plucked in the foot. That's not how Holland wanted to start things off. How do you stop yourself from spiraling after that off the bat?
I mean, it is the first switch in the inning, so first pitch in this inning after they switched. So a little bit of, warm up as she's just getting started. But, I mean, coming back from that, Titans also have a 3-0 lead. So it's a lot less pressure for Holland from a pitching standpoint. There's the bunt.
Ninehouse bunts it. Wismiller across the diamond gets out number 1 on the ground out, but runner, of course, advances in Miller to second base. So now up to the dish is Rachel Matson, the sophomore from Kenosha.
Batting number 21, Rachel
The
Matson.
double leader on this squad, a .315 batting average, third best. She's got a cool bat flip, too, that she does with her hands every time she comes up. She grounded out to short her first at-bat. However, she doubled for the lone RBI in that last game that they played against Carroll before coming down from Naperville for today's contest. That one fouled towards the Titans side. And so we'll do it again. 1-1 again. Home field, but you play as the visitor for this second game. And so you're not in your dugout. Or so you are in your dugout, but you're not getting the opportunity to bat second even though it's your turf.
Pitches are still going a little close to the legs here from Holland, but...
Yeah, and again, it's about not spiraling and not thinking about too much that... Again, you want to maybe still throw inside. That might be the scouting report, but doesn't change the fact that you don't want to allow your pitches to get too close to the interior, as it's a 2-2 for Holland off that foul ball. Moving with a lot of pace out there. Right back to Holland as she's just going to field it cleanly and throw it to first base for out number 2. And so the runner you, of course, then allow to get to third, but instead of trying to create that pickle with the 3-run lead, you instead take the surefire out. And now, with 2 of them, you just need to step on first with Flack or get the strikeout to be able to end the frame. Shows bunt, doesn't go for it. Both, an interesting note here, both of the batting gloves are in the back pockets of Gracie Vlack, the junior from Aurora, so that makes it makes sense because she bunted that first attempt, but maybe she wants a feel on things with her slap hitting opportunity here. She instead takes ball 2. She grounded out to the pitcher her first time up. I think it'd be interesting to see what she does end up doing if she doesn't go for a bunt or not, or as well doesn't get a walk. She does put a ground ball down, and it's foul, just easily scooped up by Wismiller and thrown back to Holland. Holland finding her groove that she had entering this frame. Took her a moment to recollect, but she gets the swing and a miss on Vlack for strike number 2. She just needs one more for the 4th K of the afternoon. And then she gets to go back and take a seat while her offense does some work. Here's the 2-2, back up the middle instead. She has to field it herself, and she's able to cleanly for out number 3. So after that hit by pitch, 3 go up and 3 go down for the Cardinals. Holland and the Titans enter the top of the 4th, still up 3-0. You're watching IWSports.com. Welcome back to Inspiration Field here in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm Caden Sexton. To my right, it's Alex Bardenitis. And Alex, a 3-0 game here early. If you're the Cardinals, the problem in the first game was you allowed too many runs and your offense just wasn't able to keep up. But now your offense has not woken up, and you've still allotted the same run pace. In the top of the fourth, how do you kind of flip that, reverse and stop that problem?
I mean, I think it all comes down to just not being mindful of the pressure situation, being mindful of when you're ahead, when you're not, but also just continuing to try to set your pace of the game. The Titans have been controlling most of it, as they did in that first game of the doubleheader. And they're continuing to do so in this with the 3-0 lead. But if the Cardinals can come out and kind of get their own momentum going, which it seems like they're starting to, keep that going, set their own pace, and just run with that.
So 1-1 to Wismiller, who struck out her first time up today. An outside pitch there. Wismiller, somebody who's second team All-CCIW her freshman campaign, first team last season. The junior from Bloomington has a .340 career average. Would like to boost this year's up. Again, 292 is not one to laugh at, but compared to her last 2 years, she just wants to keep getting better. Juniors from next to our Bloomington. She knocks one in the gap. It's going to be 2 bases for Casey Wismiller as she slides safely into second on that.
With the dab, too.
Yeah, she's a junior. I mean, Dab was gone for a little bit, but hey, not gonna stop her for giving the effort. We'll see if our replay includes the glorious Dab or not, as she finds that hole perfectly, slides in, and after recollecting herself, hits the dab. So now it's Grace Wilkins to the dish. She RBI single in the second inning. Brought in the first run of this game. She shows bunt, tips it back for strike one. You know, both these teams, I did see one familiar opponent for these two teams was UW Whitewater, and it was a series split for both squads, as that one by Wilkins is a foul ball. Series split for both squads against a team that's nationally been ranked in the top 15 all season. It shows you, despite conference record here as well as 16-17 record, a 5-7 CCIW record, despite both of those facts for North Central, splitting against a quality opponent has to mean something, right?
Especially when the Titans played Whitewater, too. They were their first loss.
They were.
So, you know, being able to do that, especially to a ranked team from the Titans standpoint, is great momentum, great energy, great confidence. But then again, from North Central standpoint, also playing them, you know, having that common opponent, you know, they've both been exposed to that level of play.
And that Casey Wismiller didn't get the jump she wanted. She would have been caught stealing if not for the early close of the glove from the third baseman in Torreson. If she had that one clamped, Wismiller was out at third. Instead, she's safe. But anyways, back to your point, Alex.
But yeah, having that familiarity of the same competition, you kind of get an idea of what level of play both teams are capable of, and that kind of you can't really make any assumptions based off of that. Nothing's set in stone. There's going to be adjustments. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. But you can kind of adjust and guess to the level of play that you're going to expect.
Most certainly. And again, I know firsthand that Whitewater was very unhappy that the Titans were able to end their undefeated campaign.
I mean, I would be too.
Yeah.
But major victory for the Titans.
Well, and that's a confidence builder right there. Split series on paper just seems like it's an all right, but when you factor that into things.
For sure.
As Milgazzo couldn't swing at it without a slap. I wonder if that's because the runner is on third in Wismiller. There was a pop-up by Wilkins back to the pitcher. Milgazzo quickly down 0-2 with one out, and the runner just one bag away from scoring. She's going to time it up. She does slap at this one, and it pokes it right up the middle and is able to get an RBI single to bring the lead to 4. I mean, Milgazzo able to really find her groove in that at-bat. She started again with a... she started that at-bat, as I was saying, with 2 strikes early, trying to hit just pure. Then she's able to slap and find the perfect hole. She gets out here on the fielder's choice, but doesn't take away from the fact that despite being out number 2, her impact on this inning and for this game for her squad. It's about being a team player, not sometimes being the individual athlete. So now it's Jen Kuhn. She is 0 for 1 on the day and got hit by a pitch her last time she was up. Don't think she's thinking about it. It might be stinging. She might have a bruise or two later, or a scratch, but I don't think she's thinking about those wounds now. I think instead she's worried about getting her first hit in this one as somebody who's been averaging 500 pretty much the whole season. So it's quickly 2-0 here for Jen Kuhn. Runner on first base with 2 outs. Runner breaks in Beckman. She already had team best stolen bases and gets gunned trying to steal this time. And so Beckman's legs end the inning trying to take one more, but not before the beautiful hit of Haley Milgazzo to bring in run number 4 for the Titans. We'll return in a moment. You're watching IWSports.com.
Slow down. Grab the arm. Wiggle like you're trying to make your spot.
What is proven science? At Just Thrive, it's about best-in-class clinical research. It's about supplements that empower users to control their health. These are the elements that make up the foundation of Just Thrive. Our proven, clinically backed, proprietary probiotic removes the guesswork from supplement selection because we've done the work for you to ensure that you're getting the best product possible, empowering you to take back control of your health from a leader in the digestive, immune, and emotional health spaces.
Cotton Eye Joe just began after a couple moments here in the frame, and the dugout, as you pointed out, Alex, is enjoying the dance.
I mean, I would be too if I wasn't here in the press box sitting down.
So in the summer, I work as a promotions intern for the King County Cougars, and when there's a pitching change, we have to go on the field and dance for the opposing team. And one of the most popular picks, of course, is the Cotton Eye Joe. And so when I hear that song, my brain just clicks to pitching change. I don't want to have to go out there on the field. So when I hear on a softball, again, we're not at this Cougar Stadium, but here at Inspiration Field, when I heard the Cotton Eye Joe, like my eyes rolled back. Like I hope you understand, like how much I dislike and my body hates to dance.
Oh no!
Let alone on a baseball field in front of thousands of fans. Torsen singled her first time up, but currently has worked herself into a 3-0 count. This is similar fashion to how Holland started the last frame, as she's finally able to collect a strike on an inside border pitch. But, you know, as I was saying, similar to how the last frame went, she just needs to be able to combat this and work her way out of it. Torsen hits one into right field. It makes Wilkins go back, but able to easily make the catch for out number 1. When these two squads met last year, they split the series, with the Cardinals taking Game 2 4-0 after a Titan 2-0 victory in the first. I'm not sure we're going to see a similar result of that, but at this point, the Cardinals just need to put one run in to be able to switch the momentum to their favor.
Definitely. I mean, as of right now, judging from the 4-0 run gap with the Titans in the lead here, especially it being bottom of the 4th, we've only got a couple innings left. So, I mean, the Cardinals do have time to get those runs in, but if the Titans keep this momentum and keep their defense going, not allowing the Cardinals to get any runs, the Titans are going to take both of the games in this doubleheader.
Ball 3 on the designated player in Haley Morsovolo, the junior from Okina. She averages .366 on the season, 11 walks, both the best on the squad, third most RBIs in 12, but a career .333 batting average. I mean, it's very hard to hold a career batting of 1 and 3. Hard hit ball, but it goes foul. But nonetheless, 2 straight strikes is going to even the count between Holland and Morsovilo. And so, same thing as the last at bat, where Holland fell down 3-0 quickly and is able to climb back into it. We'll see who gets the advantage in the upper hand shortly. The 3-2, it's inside and low, and it gets a walk on ball 4. Now to the dish, it's Emma Herder, the junior from Frankfurt, a .318 batting average and 10 RBIs on the season. She struck out in the second. And the second baseman with now a runner in scoring position, now a runner on base, would like to change that. Jen Kuhn diving play back over to second. Ella Hermes is able to make the grab and then falls down afterwards. She's going to get Holland as well as Jen Kuhn to go check in on her. So a fielder's choice puts Herder on first base, but not after a collision post out there at second base. I mean, in volleyball, is there ever a time where you just collide with somebody through the net, I guess? Because, I mean...
Through the net is a lot rarer than with somebody on your own side, but...
Yeah, because it's not... it wasn't friendly fire. It wasn't like you had two teammates who were going for the same grounder, the same pop fly. It was it was defender versus runner.
The only time that would happen in volleyball is if the hitter on the other side flew into the net on a tight ball and collides with the blocker, but then in that case you also get the risk of coming down and twisting your ankle or getting injured with the crossover under that center line.
Well, I also feel like there's some net violation that's bound to happen on that. Like, that's not a clean play nonetheless.
No, it's not.
So 2 outs. This one by Lotka. And it is going to be a called out. I'm going to assume that is on interference, Alex.
I would also assume that.
Take another look at this replay before we head to break. As a little bit of a pause, and that ball goes and hits the lead runner in Herder. So, based off the interference, we have 3 outs, and we'll return with Jen Kuhn when we return here on IWSports.com. Back here in the top of the 5th, and it's the 5th inning of work for Juliana Maud the sophomore pitcher from Huntley, Illinois, as this Cardinal squad would love to just calm down these Titan bats. And the first one to do that they're going to have to defuse is probably the hardest out on the team in Jen Kuhn. Again, somebody who I'm going to sound like a broken record, Alex, but I feel like this record isn't meant to break. A 500 average throughout the season, 2 first-team CCIW teams to go along with a second team her freshman campaign. Somebody who's been a consistent player throughout her career and one of, if not the best players in the conference this season. Even if you're just saying, well, Caden, stats are fun, but how is she doing everywhere else as she fouls this one up? It is being tracked, and Bozeman probably had a play on it if she was the size of Ava Corey, but she's not, and so she wasn't able to. Best batting average, of course, most RBIs with 39, 12 doubles and 5 home runs is the stat line for Jen Kuhn. I mean, half of those, again, the doubles obviously and the home runs she's second place in, but the batting average and the RBIs aren't even being contended with by anybody else on the Titans or anybody else in the CCIW. 2-1 pitch gets fouled onto the track. I see a couple walking over there. They better be careful of Jen Kuhn's foul balls. She evens the count 2 apiece. Kuhn going to time up the 2-2. It's high and away for ball 3. So it's a full count now for Jen Kuhn. Again, this probably doesn't faze the veteran at this point in her career, but nonetheless a full count. Obviously, a lot has to be going on in your mind. She's going to swing this one. It'll stay within the warning track and caught in right field by Miller for out number 1. You know, that full count pitch, I know I've talked about it on other broadcasts, but one of my fellow commentators over at Bradley, he always calls full count pitches the something's going to happen pitch, because when he would go to Brewers games with his grandmother, she would always get on the edge of her seat, and he would say, Owen would say, "Grandma, why are you so excited at the 3-2?" And she goes, "Because something's going to happen."
She's got a point. Something is going to happen.
Something's got to happen.
Yeah.
And even if it's a foul ball, that's something that's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's Ava Corey, the senior from Columbia, Illinois. A 370 average on the season, the third best on her squad with 3 home runs, tied for third. She's got 13 doubles, the most, 2 hit by pitches, the most, as well as 30 RBIs, the second most. She was the co-hitter of the year in the first team All-CCIW. Her sophomore campaign, third team all-region and a gold glove at first in her junior season. This is her senior season, and with her the way she's been swinging her bat, she should be going out with a bang. And there's a bang as she hits this one. It goes off the wall, but because of how hard of a ball that was and how quickly it bounced off the wall, she's going to have to stay at first and just accept her single. But still her first of the game. She's not going to complain about it too much. Now the great walk-up song of Claire Post. Last time she was up, if you don't remember, exactly where that ball was hit by Ava Corey, except about 20 feet taller and scaling the fence for home run number 7 and runs number 2 and 3 in this contest. She walked her first at-bat, and so, I mean, a 1-for-1 day with a walk, 2 RBIs. I wouldn't be complaining about that, and if I was, either. I mean, not much more you can do if you're Claire Post except hit more home runs. And again, I think she would love to do that, but not as. That's not on the top of her wish list right now. The top of her wish list is just to add some insurance, or at least push Ava Corey further on the base paths. 0-2 with 1 out, making it a little bit harder to do such. She takes ball 1. This is where she was the last at-bat when she homered. She was down early and was able to just wait for her pitch and have a beautiful swing to get the ball out of here. She was on the CCIW first team her freshman campaign. She wasn't her junior season, but with her .382 average and her 21 RBIs to go along with her 7 home runs, I can only imagine that she'll get a nomination this year. Especially if she keeps up the prolific defense to go along with her offense. 2-2 for the catcher. And it's low to work the count full, so starting 0-2 and working a full count. Lawn at-bats have been the name of Claire Post's day. A full count walk in the second, a 2-2 with a couple foul balls, a home run in the third. We'll see what she does on her second full count appearance. Digs in for the pitch, and she takes another walk. What a prolific eye and an incredible day for Claire Post. Moves the lead runner, Ava Corey to second. And so runners on first and second. It's going to make Coach Prager go to Riley McDaniel as a pinch runner for Corey now. Interesting move here by Coach to get McDaniel over to second base. Freshman from Orland Park into the game. You know Riley McDaniel well. What do you think's going on in her mentality now? Coming in as a pinch runner after after that spot being walked over to second base and not going out originally.
I mean, again, it's a very low-pressure situation for the Titans, being in the lead. So, again, being on second, her mindset is just getting to third, and then once that happens, getting to home. I mean, as a pinch runner, the only job you have is to run. So, again, keeping in mind the IQ, if she has to leave second base in the event that pincher starts to run to first because of Post on first base. So, I mean, just even if a little mishap happens, knowing when to run and when to stay.
Fly out to right field, again caught by Miller. She got the first one many moons ago and catches that second one. And so now it is 2 outs for Ella Hermes. Hermes, a 0-for-1 day with a strikeout and a walk. Runners on first and second, and a starting job she wants to hold on to. It's action time here in the top of the fifth. That one a little bit away for ball one. Everything she's done today has been at the plate with a walk and a strikeout, at least putting a ball in play. If she doesn't walk, at least putting a ball in play is a positive in the mindset of Hermes as she takes ball two. 2 outs, runners on first and second. You've got Riley McDaniel, who just checked into the game as a pinch runner, who would like to use those legs that she was checked in for, but has to wait a little bit. An awkward check swing by Ella Hermes and called by the home plate umpire. Tiffany Prager has some words, but I think most of them are to calm down Ella Hermes and get herself refocused. Called inside to even the count at 2 apiece. And so now that's where the check swing costs you. You go from 3-0 to 2-2, and now you've got to time up a swing with 2 outs and 2 on. A lot of 2s again. Lead runners on second if I want to add another 2 to my word jumble. Grounder to third, just going to step on it for an easy out number 3, the fielder's choice. And so the Titans not able to add insurance as they enter, or as the Cardinals now trying to claw back into this one in the bottom of the 5th. You're watching IWSports.com.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
I'm trying to work on my break though. Damn. Spending money at the club like Sam's. Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back to Bloomington, Illinois at Inspiration Field. As I'm Caden Sexton, alongside me, Alex Bartonitis. Titans have been able to hold their lead. They didn't add insurance, but that doesn't matter right now. It's the Cardinals who need to work to make anything out of this contest, and it's Bomar who's going to start things off with a strike. She struck out on 3 pitches the last time she was up. I can only assume the first baseman doesn't want to repeat that. Instead, she's going to ground it to Hermes, who's able to get out number 1. So now with Miller up, she was hit by a pitch to start off the 3rd inning, so she really hasn't gotten the chance to look at Holland. Do you think she's going to be a little bit scared entering that batter's box, or just ready to play some softball?
I think, honestly, just ready to play some softball. That's kind of just the mindset, at least, that I would have going into it. Not overthinking things, not worrying about it too much, but just focusing on your game, what you can do, what you know you can do, and adjusting to the pitches as you get them.
Called strike on Miller. That time it's fouled, and so the defender, who had a lot of work to do out there in the outfield, she only was able to see 1 pitch the last time she was up because she was hit at it, and now hit by it, and now quickly 0-2 is her mark in her count. Here comes pitch 3, and it's a little high. This one a little bit of a blooper, and it gets in between the Titan defense. And so after that one drops in front of Melgazo and behind Jen Kuhn, a single for Miller, as a single is called for Miller. And now Ninehouse, who grounded out to, who's 0 for 4 on the day, she grounded out to 3rd her last at-bat, steps into the box. This one right back to Holland. She lets it go. Kuhn's going to have to pick it up and fire quickly. She does to get out number 2.
You can see Holland and Kuhn looking at each other, nodding their heads. Good communication between the two. I think Mallory Holland heard Jen Kuhn coming behind her, at least shouting for it, and so she was smart enough to let that go so that Kuhn could make that play, give it to Corey for the out.
And that's veteran experience and just being able to know, I want this ball. I'm going to make sure my voice is heard and make the play because I have a better ability to do so. Grounder to Wiz Miller, easily fielded for out number 3. We go to the top of the 6th, 4-0 Titans. You're watching IWSports.com.
At NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Softball Championship coming to Bloomington, Illinois this May. Get your tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Welcome back to Bloomington, Illinois. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me is Alex Bartonitis. This Titans team has been marvelous all conference play. They've entered today going in at 9-0 in their conference series slate. Their 23-7 overall record is highlighted with 12 wins consecutively. I mean, how do you stop this team?
I don't know if you can, honestly, but I mean, the Titans all the way around, completely solid team. They have pretty much every piece to the puzzle that you can think of pitching, offense, defense, batters, runners. They have everything that they need and everything that has gotten them that record so far, but also they have an incredible team culture and incredible trust in each other both on and off the field, which contributes to how well they play together, how well they communicate. Some of those plays that they're able to make, like we just saw in the last inning, the play between Kuhn and Mallory. Holland able to communicate that. Mallory trusted Kuhn, so they were able to make that play, but also with this record, with this high, they're on an incredible trajectory upwards, and they just keep getting better and better, and just ride that out and see where it takes you into the NCAAs.
Absolutely, and a new pitcher into the ball game. We saw her in Game 1. It is Taylor Warren. She came in for the last two as well, or the last inning as well, and was able to get 3 outs. For originally allowed a single, but only faced 3 batters. It's Casey Wismiller, who doubled the last time she's up, and singles here to start things off against the new pitcher in Warren.
Wismiller able to hit that right past the pitcher's glove and into the middle of the field, giving her time to make it first.
Exactly, and I think head coach Venus Taylor had the mentality that you're only going out there for 5 innings because same as last game, despite the difference in the runs, and the difference in the runs and the difference in the run differential, it's just 5 innings for the starter. Taylor Warren from Yorkville, Illinois, a senior, transferred from Wabanese Community College, where she was named the 2023 All-NGAA JAA Division II and Illinois Skyway Collegiate Conference Pitcher of the Year. A 4.25 ERA, 9 appearances, 5 game starts, 26 and a third innings pitched, 11 Ks, all the third most on the team and the third most on this 3-woman pitching staff. It's a 1-1 for Grace Wilkins. She's 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single in the second. She hits a bunt that goes all the way to short. She flashes safe as she hits first, and that's because she is. So with back-to-back singles, I mean, it looked like a bunt instead. She just barely sticks her bat out and taps it, and is able to get the single. And so now with 2 on, both with some good legs, you've got Haley Milgazzo trying to add the insurance with no outs. She's going to bunt, and she got 2 under it, and so it goes over her bat and foul for strike 1. I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but she tapped it, but it went got a little bit too low, and so it flicked back. She's 2 for 3 on the day with a single in her first and her third at bat. She grounded out to second, the middle. Now Milgazzo, she swings at that one straight back at us for strike 2 on the foul ball. No 2 count now for Milgazzo. I mean, obviously she swung at that one, but she has to here after timing things up. She slaps this one. Play made by short, but it's an errant throw, and so we're going to walk the run in. Everybody should be getting a base. I'm not sure how they're doing this. No, they're going to reset everything. They're going to call Haley Milgazzo ran out of the box on the swing. So instead, the Cardinals are gifted with, you can see that left foot, her back foot steps too far, steps clearly out of the box and towards home plate and towards the pitcher on that replay. So Cardinals are gifted with an out. And so strike 1 on Anna Beckman, and after that, what's the mentality on both sides, Alex? I'll let you spiral for a second.
I mean, a little frustrating for the Titans, especially because, I mean, assuming that that's what would be called an equivalent to an unforced error.
Yeah, it's called a strikeout swinging.
Yeah, so one of those things, like, you can control that as a hitter, so a little bit frustrating for Milgazzo.
All the way to the warning track is Anna Beckman. She's going to advance the runner, the lead runner, in Wiz Miller to third.
Yeah, but, I mean, the Cardinals grateful for that out, now with 2 outs, so one step closer to switching that inning and stopping the Titans from scoring, even with a runner on third here. But, I mean, it is a little bit frustrating, but with the Titans being up, they can still carry that momentum.
No, you're right. I mean, it's definitely a momentum killer. It gifts an out, which obviously you need. Once 3 of them are scored, you're done with your at-bats. And so it definitely diffuses some confidence and creates a little bit of sense, not a sense of urgency because of the score, but it creates a sense of escaping time. As Jen Kuhn in the box with a 1-1 count. She's been hit by a pitch. Other than that, she's flown out to right field. Only 1 hit between the 2 games for Jen Kuhn. Very uncharacteristic of her. And so I can mathematics say she gets on base right here with a hit.
Ooh.
Off the leg, and she gets on base indeed and scores 2 in the process. It's 6-0 Titans. Take another look at this one. A very hard swing, and Warren tried to get out of the way from that one to make a clean play, or to allow her defense to make a clean play, but unable to.
I think that was the best case scenario for Kuhn with the direction change after it hit the pitcher and was able to kind of scramble the defense on the Cardinals side.
Ava Corey's going to foul this one off. And so with 2 outs, Jen Kuhn is able to come to the dish and is able to retaliate and pick up and get her squad back in this game. Or again, back in this game, back with a lead. And that does go down in the book as a single for her, so her second hit of the game. And again, the momentum, we were talking about the momentum, it really just because of Jen Kuhn's swing there, shifts right back. And so I didn't mean get back in the game, I meant get back with the momentum and get the ball rolling on your side once more with luck is one way to put it. Another way to put it is just being able to put a hard hit ball straight up the middle. So here's Ava Corey. We know what her glove is able to do, but talk about her bat this season as she drives one in to right field.
And that's out of the field.
Another home run for the Titans. A 2 RBI shot for the senior Ava Corey. So a beautiful swing from Corey. It climbs over that smaller fence in right field, and it gets runs number 7 and 8 across the plate. And oh yeah, who's up? The other home run hitter. It's Claire Post. Post takes ball 1. Again, she's worked some lawn at-bats today. As she hits this one, her quickest at-bat, of course, and on to first base safely is Post. Little bit of a mistake there at shortstop from Vlack. Again, she started game 2 at second base. Now this one is moving to shortstop, and she does reach on the air from short. the quickest at-bat for Claire Post, and with 8 runs, no pinch runner for the catcher as Bella Pinter takes ball 1. And even with the lead, you can see on your screen the size of the cheer in amount of people cheering as well as in volume there on the sidelines for the Titans, there in the dugout for the Titans. Hard hit ball by Pinter, and it gets down in fair territory. Post is going to take off for third, showing off that she's got legs too, Coach, and is able to get all the way around to third base. And so a single for Pinter, and there's going to be a conversation between Coach Prager and the umpires about some substitutions. And we get the other Wilkins twin over at first base as a pinch runner. It is Julia. So now the 9th batter of the inning is not going to be Ella Hermes. It's going to be the pinch hitter in Maddie Poole. We see Poole, the freshman, come in a lot as a pitcher. She did not get to pitch in this contest. Instead, however, we see her as a bat. Maddie Poole's stick, as a freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, is .385 with 2 doubles, a homer, 5 RBIs, and 3 walks. First strike registered to Poole. Again, this is her first at-bat of the day as a pinch hitter. Curious to... Again, she has the third most appearances, not in that top 2, so probably being saved for the weekend series or in case of emergency in this contest, as we saw Holland get the start today. However, she does get some action just on the side of the ball. She sees a lot less. So.
Yeah, speaking of weekend series, Titans taking a trip to Wisconsin for both the Carroll and Carthage matches before they come back home on the 30th for their final conference match before the CCIW tournament against Augustana.
Well, most certainly, and we'll talk about that. Again, Augustana is ranked 2nd, and so if standings stay how they are right now, obviously the Titans would need to lose one, or Augustana can't lose another for those games to change who hosts the tournament, but it doesn't change the fact that that's going to choose and decide a bunch of momentum into the conference tournament, as well as just, again, you don't want to, your last ranked games of regular season, would you rather them be a win or a loss, Alex? I mean, it's that simple at the end of the day. And so, again, as you said, a double Wisconsin weekend against some strong Carthage and Carroll teams. A Carroll team that just split with these North Central Cardinals. And so, after this, you're going to have a little bit of rest. But, as you said, a road trip definitely ensues a little bit less rest and a little bit less familiarity and comfortability. And so just everything has to add up.
Titans are going to have to put the student and student athlete this weekend, too, with their trip to Wisconsin, as we have finals next week.
It looks like Carol Willis is being helped out of here. She's been here for both the games of today's doubleheader and getting walked out by a friendly gentleman after seeing her Titans go up and double their lead in at the top of the 6th.
Yeah, man, she's got to be confident in this one if she's leaving early.
And so here's Gracie Vilac. I don't really know what that conversation was about between an assistant coach and the head umpire, but we waited and now we play. Vilac has put 2 balls up the middle into the pitcher's in Mallory Holland's glove for ground outs. We'll see if she's able to do that a 3rd time, or if she, for her own sake, changes something up. She does. She gets it to Wismiller, who's not able to throw it across the diamond. It took a couple hops, and so safely to first is Vilac.
And Westmiller's visor coming off.
Yeah, a little
that
bit
play.
of a slip and slide out there is what it looked like. And Annika Brown in defensively at second base for Poole, as well as Geary in left field for Milgazzo. This ball hit hard, and it's going to go foul. And so I bet you that it was those defensive substitutions that North Central wanted to make sure they were understanding, which held us up here from starting play. Called strike 2 on Torreson, who is 1 for 2 on the day. With a single in the first inning.
Right into the glove of Holland, and then Corey, first base runner, out.
So with an 8-run lead, the runner going over there doesn't really mean as much, but still needing to note it. And so with a runner on second, you've got Haley Marzoviel, who Annika Brown, making her defensive way into this game, is able to just ground that one out for out number 2. Again, something we talked about earlier but haven't really touched on lately, Alex. Unlike in volleyball or in football or in any other sport, being the home team has a big advantage. You get to bat last. And so having to be the visitor for game number 2 means you have to do all this again, even though Wesmiller just records the third out. So a lot of cheers for the Titans, as I think this is 8 runs, so this is over. As I say, sometimes I should just not talk and just let things happen instead. But I thought the run rule, apologies folks, I didn't realize we were already in run rule range, but we are. So game comes to a conclusion here at Inspiration Field with a 8-0 shutout victory for Holland, and the Titans go away with a doubleheader sweep and now go 10-0 in CCIW play. How do they carry that momentum into a hard weekend series where you got two series against tough Wisconsin opponents, have to go a long road trip, while also, as you said, putting the student athlete?
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about, but also a lot to look forward to, especially using the mentality we get to. That's something that we have in our program, in volleyball at least. So, you get to play softball, you get to go on these road trips. Even with finals coming up, it's a great opportunity. I mean, long bus ride, especially up to Kenosha or Waukesha, whichever one they're going to for, or both at least. But, time to study, just prioritizing, putting the student athlete, but then also turning back around, coming home for that final conference match against Augustana. So lots of tough competition coming up, but taking their performance today and their conference performance so far, I think the Titans are well on track to doing it and doing it well.
Almost certainly, and that is, of course, 13 in a row. It was a complete dominant showing tonight in Game 2 for the Titans, no doubt about it. After winning 8-0, 12-3 on that hit total was really a just wildly big difference. They will go to Waukesha first and have a Saturday doubleheader against Carroll before a Sunday doubleheader against Carthage up in Kenosha. We already know that both of these schools have been having strong seasons, and so it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. We look on the other side of the field. North Central, they don't have the ability to rest. Now they are 5-8 in conference play, and they're going to have to do some work to get back into the swing of things.
Definitely, but I mean, North Central playing good competition with the CCIW conference being so good. I mean, all of these teams, great practice for each other to prepare for the CCIW tournament and all that. So, I mean, not Carthage. North Central really can't lose in the grand scheme of things, even though they did lose both of the games today. but still great efforts from the Cardinals and a great victory for the Titans.
Well, and again, for those of you who didn't know this, we never mentioned it throughout the broadcast. That's our fault. But this doubleheader was rescheduled from April 10th. And so to go along with that, the Titans, they moved up a game that was around this time with North Park to avoid having any complications. But doubleheader, they had to. If you look at North Central, you'll understand why I said Carthage because we were just talking about them. But they had a Friday doubleheader against Milliken, a Saturday doubleheader against Augustana, a Tuesday doubleheader, which was yesterday, against Carroll. Tonight they doubleheadered of the Titans, of course. Tomorrow they go to Wheaton and have a doubleheader against Wheaton before having to play a doubleheader and senior day at home on Saturday against Greenville. They're done after Wheaton in CCIW play, which, I mean, there's a positive or a negative. I mean, I would say a negative from the standpoint of you got to play non-conference games before getting back into the swing of things, and on top of playing non-conference games before getting back into the swing of things, you have a Wheaton College team that is, or you have to play Wheaton College tomorrow after this losing 7 out of the last 8.
Yeah, definitely a lot of competition for the Cardinals. I'd be tired too, but hopefully a little bit of rest for them before they play again on Saturday. And rest for the Titans too before this weekend, couple days. So hopefully they get their practice in and then do what they do up in Wisconsin.
No, most certainly, Alex. Well, we will have Mallory Holland and Casey Wismiller up here joining us in the broadcast booth, folks, so don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick commercial break, chat with you some more, and hopefully have our 2 student athletes up here very shortly. Please don't go anywhere again, but here's a few words from our sponsors here on IWSports.com.
At NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Softball Championship coming to Bloomington, Illinois this May. Get your tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12-ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome back to Inspiration Field here in Bloomington. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me, Alex Bardenitis. We're about to be joined by 2 Titans, Casey Wismiller, the third baseman, as well as the starting pitcher in that second game, and Mallory Holland. Before your excitement and with those players being up here, kind of just talk me through what the mentality you think is for them as they're going to come up into this broadcast booth. Let's do some predicting.
Some predicting. Ooh. Let's see. I mean, Mallory Holland has a lot of good things from her performance here in this second game. A lot of strikeouts and just a lot of good plays in general. And IQ, she's definitely showed that. And, like, teammate camaraderie, good communication and all that. And Wismiller, also great plays from the third baseman. Lots of great things to say. I think from a leadership standpoint, Wismiller looking forward to going to give us some insight, kind of looking into their Wisconsin trip up there this weekend. and kind of what their mindset is taking this win, especially with how the score was in the second game here, what kind of the shift was between the first and second game, how she thinks it went. I mean, that's at least what my anticipation is.
No,
so.
Of course, and that makes complete sense. I think when you look at the two games, and I think this is what at least highlights to me is the North Central Cardinals. They're a team that is their athletics are as well, a very well-knit, a very strong community who support and care for each other, and I really do think that there's a lot of team camaraderie on both sides of this field today. And I just think, the Bats just they slowly were slowing down as the Titans rocketed and blasted off. And so when you have the dramatic difference, runs are runs. Runs score you games, but you need other stuff to happen for runs to be able to cross the plate and earn those marks. And those extra accolades were coming at blast-off speed from the Titans, and they were slowing as the game progressed from North Central. And I think that's something we'll have to see what they believe in is, were they getting better or were they just being themselves and waking up?
Looks like team huddle is over here, so we should be hearing from both of those players shortly.
As they make their walk up to the broadcast booth, we'll take one more brief break here on IWSports.com. But when we come back from our commercials, we'll have two athletes joining us right here in the booth. You're watching IWSports.com.
It's time to play Did You Know with Illinois Wesleyan. First off, true or false, on average, over half of tuition for accepted students is covered by scholarships and grants. True. IWU invests more than $40 million in scholarships and grants for students each year.
Where has IWU ranked in highest earning graduates among small schools in Illinois? If you guessed number 1, you got it. And what's even better, IWU is the number 1 college in Illinois for getting a job and number 7 in the nation.
Last question, how much does it cost to apply to Illinois Wesleyan? If you said nothing, well, you're right. There's absolutely no application fee. So what are you waiting for? Visit, apply, and see all the opportunities for success that await you at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Maybe? I don't know.
I guess so. Oh, we're back. You ready? Welcome back to Inspiration Field. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me is Alex Bardenitis. And on the microphone first, we've got Casey Wismiller. Casey, immediate reactions after getting the 2 wins and their 10th conference win against North Central.
I feel like we played really good softball today all around. Like pitching, hitting, fielding, everything was there. And we kept it going, strung them together and everything like that. So, yeah. Yeah,
between the 2 games, you went 3 for 5 with that double. What was working for you in your swing tonight?
Just not thinking as much. I've had a past where I just think a little too much and it doesn't work for me, and I've been struggling a little bit recently, but today felt really good and a little bit relieving. So, yeah, I was just trying to focus on finding my pitch and driving it. So,
yeah. What was kind of your mentality with keeping the momentum going and kind of how that works into your team chemistry and trust with your teammates?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all have a lot of trust in each other. Like, if someone gets out there, like, oh, pick me up, or like, everyone's just cheering on for each other every single time, and no matter what, like if someone's struggling or not, everyone is always at the top of the front of the fence, front of the dugout and everything, just trying to cheer everyone on. So our energy is really contagious a lot. So today we had very good energy, I would say. So, yeah.
Yeah, so talk to me about how do you take this momentum, and again, it's a momentum you've been building for the last 12 games and 13 games and all that, but how do you take this momentum into a weekend series up north in Wisconsin against Carroll, against Carthage, but also with finals around the corner and having to worry about being a student on top of everything else going on?
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to rest, we have an off day, and then Friday we're going to get back at it. We have a short practice, but we're hoping to get right back at it on Friday and then recover for this until Saturday, and then we'll be ready to go. So yeah, we're super excited to travel, our last away trip hopefully. So yeah.
Awesome, Casey. Thank you very much for chatting with us. We'll do a little bit of an awkward switch here, and we'll bring Mallory into the booth after picking up that win. Mallory, I know you're still putting on the – yeah, of
Great
course,
job,
Casey. Great job. I know you're putting on the headset, Mallory, but kind of talk to me about your feeling after picking up that win. 6 innings pitched, 3 Ks, only allowing the 1 walk and 3 hits, and obviously a shutout in the complete game. Kind of just walk me through what you're feeling after that.
I feel really good. I think I've been hot lately in the circle, throwing well. This is something that's sort of new for me. Typically, I've been a relief pitcher, so getting to start these last couple games has been really cool to show myself that I can do a start and to just go out there and give my all for my team and trust that they're behind me to back me up.
No, for sure. Was there something about tonight that was just making you feel a little bit different than normal, or was it just go out there and pitch?
I thrive in the heat. I love it when it's hot, so to see the weather today and the sun was very nice for me. Big fan of the heat, so I've sort of ride on that.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I totally understand that. That's kind of how I am too. But again, you said you were used to being a relief pitcher. Kind of talk about how that changed from being starting to a relief pitcher.
Yeah,
once in your head.
so as a relief pitcher, for me, it was typically come in and just save the game, honestly. I had quite a bit of saves last year. So from the start, it's a little tricky for me because I'm just so used to coming in and just being blank mind. But from the start, you have to come out and you have to get ahead and you have to work hard to stump the hitters. You also have to pitch more so that hitters see you for longer. So.
No, for sure. You have to be able to change something up and get different looks as you go through. And now you've got a lot of course, film on tape. You've got 4 games, and you're not obviously pitching 4 straight games, but 4 games in this Wisconsin series. You know you'll be out there a couple times. What's the mentality for you come with this upcoming road trip?
I think I'm just going to keep it the same that I've been doing. Just going out there, doing my best, and trusting my defense. Something that we've been working on is not just sticking with the same series of pitches all the time, but pitching depending on where the hitter is in the box, so just going at it that way and attacking the hitters.
No, of course. Mallory, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
That about does it for us here in the studio. I'm Caden Sexton. Alongside me was Alex Bardenitis. Thank you so much for tuning in to this one. An 8-0 win in 6 frames for the Illinois Wesleyan Titans. You watched IWSports.com. I didn't like how we were just on frame. I was like, oh. I did not like that we were just sitting there on this frame. Oh, man, that was rough.
I love being on camera. That's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, just